Hi everybody, this is a quick little PSA to chat about autism. April is Autism Awareness Month, Autism Acceptance Month, it's Autism Month. That's celebrated by a lot of people. Friday, which was 3 days ago, was World Autism Awareness Day, or some people say World Autism Acceptance Day. Either way, I saw a lot of people flooding timelines on Facebook and Instagram and everything with the puzzle pieces and wearing blue and saying, calling for inclusivity and supporting autistic people and raising awareness and all this kind of thing. All well and good. It's always good to have people who might not be involved in autism spreading the word and sharing awareness. However, what I really wanted to talk about was to make sure that when you are spreading awareness and sharing all these wonderful things to try to get awareness, make sure that you know the backstory behind a lot of the things you're sharing. It was disheartening to me to see that almost everybody who shared anything about autism awareness last Friday used puzzle pieces and or the color blue. In the last few years, I myself have stayed away from recognizing Autism Day or anything about autism really for the month of April for different reasons, which I'll get into. But this year I thought I'll do something. A few years ago, I was one of those two sharing, puzzle pieces and wearing blue and all that kind of thing. But over the years, I've learned that the puzzle piece symbol and the wearing blue, it's synonymous with autism, but largely because there's a certain organization that has promoted that. And that organization, as we've learned over the years, as autistic people have learned over the years, does not truly serve autistic voices. The organization in question, a lot of what they try to raise money for, whether it's, well, in the past has been finding a cure for autism and kind of promoting behaviors and practices to make autistic people more normal rather than supporting autistic people to just be who we are. So that organization has come under fire a lot in the last few years, and it hasn't done much to change what they are about and what they do. So autistic people on the whole don't agree with that organization and don't support what that organization is about, and therefore don't agree with using blue, the color blue, to represent autism or the puzzle pieces to represent autism. Now, two things. One was that the color blue was originally used because, well, the color blue is not liked by autistic people because it's felt that blue tends to represent boys, and a lot of autistic research in the past has been focused on boys. And as we now know, autistic girls and women, they have different presentations from boys, very different presentations a lot of the time. So, and that's why so many girls go undiagnosed, because unless it appears like some of these symptoms you'll get with boys, it might tend to fall under the radar, or they might get misdiagnosed with something else. So that's one of the reasons why the color blue is not the preferred color for many autistic people who have now spoken out against, using blue. And the preferred colors now are red instead, which you might see in place of blue, or using the color gold, because AU is the symbol for gold, and it's also the first couple of letters of autism, or just using rainbow. to represent diversity within the whole autistic spectrum and autistic community. So blue is definitely, not the preferred color, and we tend to focus more on red, gold, or rainbow colors. And the puzzle piece is not a symbol that tends to be liked by autistic people anymore, because the the puzzle piece by that certain organization, it promoted this feeling of autism being a puzzle, or autism being like a piece is missing and you have to put all the pieces together. And that's not how it is. There's nothing missing or nothing wrong about us. It's just a different way of doing things and a different way of thinking. So the puzzle piece, it 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 tends to represent brokenness and something being wrong and something being something that needs to be fixed, when that's not the case. So that's why the puzzle piece is not the symbol that you want to be associated with autism. Now that autistic people have been able to speak up and have their say about it, these are the things that autistic voices are saying. So no to the puzzle piece and no to the color blue. Some symbols instead that are acceptable would be a butterfly and also the infinity symbol. Those are the two kind of acceptable symbols that signify something that's not broken. All right. So those are the main two reasons why, for now, or at least for over the last few years, there has been that shift from the lighted up blue and using the puzzle pieces when promoting autism awareness and autism acceptance. And like I said before, many years ago, I was, all about lights up blue, and in my Facebook memories the past few days was all about wearing my blue and talking about it. And up to today, I just threw away 2 pens that I had with the puzzle pieces, and I threw away a pin that I had with the puzzle pieces, because that's what we were taught was the symbol of autism. But in the past few years, and especially in the last 3 years, for me on a personal level, with figuring out that I am autistic and trying to work that out, I have been doing a lot more reading and listening more to actually autistic people, and in just finding out more about myself and finding out that no, I am not broken, and in listening to other people and learning more about other autistic people and what they prefer, I feel a lot more comfortable about just going with what autistic people want. It really is about being respectful and honoring the whole community that way. So if autistic people say that puzzle pieces on blue don't represent the community, then don't use it. What was a little disappointing, I would say, was that, I mean, I don't mind like parents and people who might know, organizations who might still use the blue and still use the puzzle pieces, no problem, because it is a shift and it is something that will take time for everybody to understand and everybody to accept. But I think for some professionals, you see so many professionals and people who work with autistic people still using puzzle pieces and still using the blue and still kind of promoting these archaic kind of ideas. I think that's something that we have to work towards changing a little bit faster, so that we make sure that we could truly respect autistic people's voices. But what I would like to say is that I would like to encourage everybody, as we are still at the start of the month, and hopefully the awareness and acceptance will keep going for the rest of April. So even if it's not something that you are going to pay attention to for the entire month, at least think a little bit more about when you are aiming to support autistic people, are you actually doing it the right way? Or are you just sharing a post or putting up a little flyer or sharing a little article just because you want to say supporting autistic people? Are you really ready to support autistic people by way of listening to autistic voices, paying attention to autistic people, and really trying to help them to be their best self, not your version of what you think they should be? That is the kind of support and acceptance that's really needed, more than sharing a little something, a flyer or something saying, oh, I support autism. Listening to autistic people doesn't mean just listening to the ones who can speak, because there are many autistic people who don't speak or don't communicate in the way that we want them to, or in the way that would be deemed appropriate. But you can still pay attention to non-speaking autistic people, and you can learn a lot from them just by paying attention, and not thinking about it in terms of what do I want to do, or what do I think this person should do. Think about it from their perspective, and you know try to respect them in a way that will help them and support them, not just make life easier for yourself. Um, so yeah, that's really what I wanted to say, that the puzzle piece in the blue, those things are not the accepted symbols right now. I know that things change often, but this is because more voices that were not being heard before are being heard now. So people who weren't advocating before, autistic people who maybe weren't advocating before, are now advocating and saying, well, actually, I don't like that. I would prefer this instead. And we should all honor that and respect it. So for the rest of April and well beyond, because autism is not just for a month or a day, I would really like to encourage you to make sure that you are listening to actually autistic people. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have. Try to find out information as much as possible. There are a couple of organizations in Trinidad and Tobago that you can turn to who truly honor and respect autistic voices, and those are Cause and Effect and Autism Spirit. Autism Spirit also runs a parent group, which I'll put up here, and I would encourage you to follow those organizations so that you can make sure that you are truly honoring autistic voices. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye.